Warning, the following video contains my opinions. It is okay to disagree with my views. Therefore, if you have a differing view, let me know in the comment section below. Thank you. Good morning or good afternoon, everyone. Render back here with my Madden 21 beta review. EA was kind enough to send me a code to play this beta, and I wanted to share my thoughts and opinions as to what I thought when I was playing the Madden beta. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, my very first impression of the beta has to be that it feels completely different than Madden 20. Is that a good thing, a bad thing? In my opinion, it's a great thing. You know, I don't want a carbon copy of Madden 20 to play for another 1,000 hours this year. I'm glad that it feels different, it looks different. I'm not saying the graphics are that much more incredible, but it does feel and look different. And overall, that's a good positive thing for me. A bad thing that I do want to point out right at the beginning, zones are still pretty broken. You know, they added that new feature in where you can adjust how your zones are played, and I think that's something that we all have to really deep dive into and analyze and kind of test out in exhibition mode and see, you know, what works, what doesn't work. So I think that's something that could potentially fix or help with zones, but I don't think we have enough time right now to determine whether or not that's going to be a fix to zones immediately. I am going to put up on the screen young Kiv's thoughts. Kiv is a professional Madden player, one of the best, undoubtedly, and he on Twitter posted his thoughts as to what, you know, he liked and what he didn't like about the beta. Alright, to add more of my opinions on what I think about the beta, I do think the QB release feels phenomenal. I think you can get the ball out of your hand a lot quicker than Madden 20 without having to spam on a million gunslingers for abilities. And so I think that is a big thumbs up for EA for really improving the release time that a quarterback has for throwing the ball out of his hand. The second thing that I want to talk about is kind of a double-edged sword, really, that I found, and I think a lot of us found in this beta so far, and that's the usering with linebackers or strong safeties, really most things in the secondary. It feels very, very clunky, and it feels very, very slow. Now, the question is that for better or is that for worse? Because, you know, immediately a lot of us were very frustrated that it felt horribly slow. And I agree, I was very frustrated. I don't know how many times I tried to go and cover a guy, and if you weren't there, it was a catch about every single time. And so I think, is it a good thing? Maybe it is, you know. If you remember, you know, how easy was it for people to user and then just lurk and cover 3 or 4 different routes with one single person? That's not realistic. And if EA's goal is to make this game more realistic, then they've succeeded with that. Okay? Now, with that being said, if they add this, if they continue with having the user being incredibly slow and clunky, they have to fix zones. They have to fix the specific players like cornerbacks and safeties and linebackers to cover zones properly. If they don't do that, now you have usering, which hurts you, and you also have zones that don't work. So that's a double whammy on that idea. And so I think usering, if they're going to nerf it, they have to undoubtedly improve zones. And if they don't do either of those, then it's a really downfall, a pitfall, if you will, with this beta so far. I mean this with all complete respect for EA, but please get rid of all the stupid celebrations after sacks, after a lot of these things. Like, I feel like after a first down or even freaking breathe at the game, it causes an animation for you to celebrate, and I think it's just so much. It's saturated, in my opinion. I think they have way too much of it, and I think they need to get rid of it. If you want to have animations at a touchdown, awesome. If you want to have an animation after, like, let's say 6 or 7 first downs, awesome. But the fact that they're having an animation, it seems like every other second that you can do, I think it's just becoming a little bit too much, and so I hope they get rid of that. Another thing that I really want to talk about is the run game, and, you know, going into this was probably the biggest question mark that everyone had. Is it going to be fixed? Will it be nerfed? Will it be buffed? Because it looked like that was going to be the case with all the new run animations and things that you could do on the controller. But in my opinion, this is what I found. And so the beta had 0 running backs that had any X factor or abilities whatsoever. And I don't know what the the intention was behind EA for doing so. Was it to kind of, allow us to not focus on the run game as much and hopefully find more benefits in passing? But if that was the case, they failed because running is still overpowered. I used Mark Ingram, I used Damian Williams from the Chiefs, and they shredded everybody. I could easily pick up 8 to 10 yards, it seemed like almost every other run play that I had. And so because of that, running is still overpowered. And to add on to that sentiment, QB Escape Artist is still broken. Now, I will say the stamina thing is kind of interesting, where at the second half of the game, your QB is incredibly tired and they seem to not be able to run the ball as well or throw really even as well. But if you are scrambling with Lamar Jackson, you will never fumble the ball, it seemed like in the beta. You could get hit-sticked by the best linebacker or safety in the game, and Lamar Jackson would just laugh at that and hold on to the ball for dear life and never fumble it. And so I think that's kind of another annoying thing that I found in the beta. But overall, my opinions on the beta are this. It's a beta, and so I can't say the game's going to be trashed. I can't say the game's going to be amazing. I will say that I think EA added a few things that are nice with the QB release time. I think nerfing middle linebacker or safety usering is interesting, and if they are going to continue down that route, they have to change how zones work, and that they have to work. If they don't work, then you're really hurting us by not allowing us to really use or anything. So with that being said, thank you all so much for watching. Let me know, what did you think of the beta if you were able to get a code? Personally, it was good. I can't say I spent a ton of time on it because, it's a beta, and so it's frustrating to play a broken game, but overall, I think there is hope for Madden 21. Ultimate Team has a lot more that can be added to gameplay, and so I hope that we have a better polished project here come at the end of August. With that being said, I want to thank you all so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to give me a like and subscribe if you are new, and turn that bell notification on to get notifications whenever I make a new video. I will be continuing on with my Madden 20 review with the second episode, The Bad of Madden 20, coming out in the next day or two. So again, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, everyone.
What we do here is go back.